we downloaded the damn vulnerable web application. We extracted it from the zip file. We changed the name to dvwa in small letters, and now we're gonna actually copy it and paste it into XAMPP. Actually, whenever you create a site, it goes here into the htdocs. So I need to copy this folder exactly here. So actually, we'll come to this. I'll copy it, and I will paste it here. Okay, here it is. There will be a bunch of files inside. Here's how it looks. Any questions? And the next thing we need to do is to go here into the XAMPP still, and we need to find out into the in this folder. Actually, we need to find out on the top the config folder, and we need to make a backup of this file. So we're just gonna copy it. We're gonna paste it in the same, in the same. In the same folder, and then I'm gonna remove everything else. I'll leave only the PHP here, so that will become actually my major file. It's a PHP file, okay? And I'm gonna use it next. The next thing we need to do, guys, indeed, is to install some tools here. Well, we don't have them, so we're gonna download and then we're gonna copy it there. We need the Notepad++, so download. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not necessarily to install. Then you could use the Notepad, and you could unzip without the 7-zip. These are much easier, much easy to work with, guys. That's why it's better to have them. So I'll download the latest version. For here it is, the 64-bit installer I will download, and the other one is the 7-zip. Much easier to work with these tools, and since we don't have at the moment still internet within our DMZ, we just need to oops, that's the 32-bit. I don't need the 32. I need the 64-bit actually. Okay, so the next thing, I will extract them here. This one I don't need anymore. Okay. And once I'm extracting them, I will use them after this. I will use them into the machine here. So I'm gonna go back to this folder here, to the desktop. I will install a 7-zip. I will install also the, well, it's working much easier. You're gonna see the difference as soon as I do it. So once again, I open here into my XAMPP, into the folder which I downloaded from internet, the damn vulnerable web application, and which I copied into the XAMPP subfolder there, and I opened the config file. Indeed, it's not supposed to be in XAMPP folder. It's supposed to be into the htdocs folder. It's supposed to be here. So it's supposed to be in the htdocs folder, and then you open it, as we mentioned, and we need to go to the config, and now we open the PHP file. We just copied it and we removed the rest, and we left only the PHP. Open it with this one. In this file, what we need to do is to go into the, I'll close this one actually. In this file, you see the database will be in our local server. That's why the 127 stays here. That's the name of the database. The user is root, and at the moment this is the password we need to use. Well, what we need to do is just to remove this, so to be empty, the password. and we need to save here. Now, another good thing for using Notepad++ indeed is you could open any file, even though you need to open it basically as administrator. And then if you need to save it, it will ask you, okay, this file needs an elevated rights as an administrator. Do you want to save it as administrator? And it will save it as this. If you try to open such files with Notepad, with the ordinary Notepad, it won't really work. Okay, it won't really work. You need to open the file itself first the application itself as an administrator, then to try to find out the file and so on and so forth. So it's a little bit more not user friendly. So here you could just say save and it will save. Any question on this? The next step we need to do, I'm doing a movie obviously for this. So the next thing we need to do is to open our PHP admin. Opening it, I open it already, but if you forget how, you just go local host, click on this, it will open the default page of the XAMPP, and then you click on phpMyAdmin here at the back, okay, and it will open it like this. So I actually open it as I've opened it as a separate page here, okay. Now we need to create a new database, which will be our dvwa database. So once we create the name of this database and we just created it, we click on the create button, and basically we're done with this. So the way we could access now the site would be when you open a separate tab, you need to write down here localhost, and here you need to put actually dvwa, and it will ask you for username and password. Okay. For the then vulnerable web application, the username is admin, and the password is password. So we say login here, and here it is. I will save even the username and the password. It's a local environment, no problem for me. Here how it looks. Now there are two errors here we need to fix. The captcha, we're not gonna do anything about it. Actually, we're gonna concentrate on doing something for this one. So how we're gonna fix this would be to open our one of the Apache configuration files. So we're gonna open by twice clicking here on the XAMPP control panel, and we will go to the PHP here. So we'll click here on the Apache configuration button, and we will click on the PHP here. This will be the PHP admin here. PHP INI actually will be. And afterwards we need to find and change some of the things inside. I will show it to you now. So we'll find out the first, well, this one is on already. We'll find out the next one, but we need to do this one on too. Okay. The next thing we need to fix here is the resource limits. It's supposed to be here a little bit on the up. You see all of these are in the so it's a good idea way to be sure that the maximum execution time is enough to work, so we could change to a different level if we want. Our memory limit is 512 megabyte. Execution time we could change to, you could triple this actually, 360, that's in seconds, that's 6 minutes. Okay, so once all of this is done, actually we could save the file. So I'm going to click file and I'll say save. I'll close it. Now it's a good idea this to be applied. Actually, we need to stop our Apache server, we need to stop our MySQL server, and we need to start them back. As you see, by the way, it shows which are the IDs of the processes, PID, that's what it means, process IDs, for the specific module or program which is running at the moment, and on which port it's working any one of these programs. So it's a good idea, you guys, to check this one and to know which are the ports. By default, they use it. Okay, so once that is done, actually, we could refresh here. And as you see now, the PHP function has been fixed. Whatever was as an error here, indeed has been fixed. And actually, the last thing we need to do here is to go to the bottom. Okay, we need to say here, create reset database. And we need to log in back again, admin and password if you remember. We say login, and here it is. That's how it looks. So these are all the attacks we might perform on this machine. That's what you were asking me, Harpreet, actually. Okay, so you see these are the attacks: the brute force attack, command injection. You have also SQL injection, something which we're gonna see, the cross-site forgery, and so on and so forth. These ones which we have this one will be successible to this one, so we will be able to execute this type of attacks on this machine, like let's say SQL injection, and you could do some stuff here. And there is information, and there is I mean the site itself. While we are on the page here, let me just while we're on the page, guys, let me just show you where the security levels actually are. You see here on the page, we have a little bit at the bottom, the dvwa security. When you click on this one, here's the levels we could say. You know, impossible means it's barely impossible somebody to hack us, okay? But as you see, we have very low level, and we have also high and medium level, right? So we could say medium here, or we could say, for the sake of our tested, very low level, and it explains actually which level is what. I'll stop the movie.